Hello. Again, this is Elsa's Life Story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Today I'm going to talk to you about updates when it comes to my teenage son, the one who you guys witnessed in the other videos, in different scenarios or whatnot. Lately, I've been studying, and I finally made my last payment for acting and modeling school, which was today. That school is Barbizon, acting and modeling school. Now, let's continue. First off, I want to start out with daily devotional. March 2nd is today's date. And I'm going to read March 3rd as well. It says, ready to see. Open my eyes that I may see wonderful things in your law. Think back to a time you suddenly understood something. Maybe you were late to get the punchline of a joke. Or maybe you finally understood why your mom wouldn't let you wear something to school. Oh, I get it. You said the Bible is filled with aha moments. As we go deeper into the Word, God opens our eyes to things we never noticed before. Stories we've heard all our lives become fresh with new insights. Truths we've taken for granted take on new weight and significance as we discover the Word is alive. What beauty and depth have you found hidden in God's Word? Well, I know that it says, honor thy mother and thy father. That's in the 10th commandment. But the beauty I found in it later on down the line in my childhood was, honor thy mother and thy father, but to the parents do not provoke thy child, which means it takes two. And I really, really love the beauty of that. Heart that cares. March 3rd. Heart that cares. God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. What was your last random act of kindness? Whether you bought a homeless man a burger, donated to dig a new well in Africa, or simply smiled at a stranger in the produce aisle. These impulses are evidence of the Spirit at work in your life. The more we tune into God, the more He will work in us. As we focus our thoughts on His perfect love and look to Him for inspiration, He provides us with opportunities, big and small, to express His love to others. How can you share God's love and goodness with someone today? I got this here from Walmart. And God is always with me. It's a daily devotion. Thank you. Now, forgive me if you hear my 1-year-old. He's pretty active today, as usual. This here in my cup is coffee. Folgers cream and brown sugar Splenda. It's traditional, and it's also keeps me going. I try to stay away from it at times because it's too much caffeine is not always good. So I don't drink it a lot. Yeah. So my son has been, again, my 10-year-old, the one who plays basketball. He's been proactive again. It hasn't been much practice. According to my schedule, I'm able to practice with him and stuff like that. There is no coach. There hasn't been a coach for probably almost 2 months. So the parents, which I totally salute, we have been persistent with making sure these kids get to their games with coach or not with the coach. Understood? I've basically brought my 2 boys these 2 books, and I'm gonna go over it with them pretty soon. One second, let me show you. I didn't buy it. I actually went to the library. I got this book. It is called Trombone Shorty by Troy. Trombone Shorty. Andrews, illustrated by Cattycoat or Cattycott. Honor winner Brian Collier. I got it from the library for him. This is for the 10-year-old. Looks like a pretty neat book, so I asked him to read it, and then tell me how did it go, and I was gonna go over it with him. But we'll be going 9 out of 10. I'll work with him with, with the book, reading the book and stuff with him and going over it. This one here is for this little Sergio. Put my stuff down, please. Put it down. I guess that didn't work. So, thank you, papi. Ponlo para atrás y no lo toque. Ve pa mirar la televisión. Hazme ese favor. So, 5 Little Ducks is this book for the 1-year-old. He'll be 2 in a couple of days, but yeah. So, illustrated by Jose Arrugo and Ariane Dewey. Jose, illustrated by Jose Arrugo and Ariane Dewey. And I got it from the South Georgia Regional Library here in Valdosta, Georgia. No me toque la cosa, porque todavía yo no arreglaste esta mesa, y si tú lo toques, sigues tocando, lo voy a romper. Yeah. So yeah, today I received a phone call. Let me get my notes just in case I need to. Let me get my notes just in case I need to go over some stuff that I missed when it comes to no lo rompe, porque si lo rompe yo tengo que pagar. Eso no es libro mío, es de la libroteca. Yeah, so anyhow, the case manager from Children's Family Enrichment Center, she hasn't been working there that long, but she seems like a pretty cool person overall, but she still has a job to do, so it's nothing personal. She calls me, she's like, "Hi, ma'am." I'm like, "Hi, good morning." She's like, "Your 10-year-old, your 16-year-old, your son, Junior. Junior decides to threaten the teacher, and he's failing tremendously. He's not even going to school. He's always skipping. And, you know, he's either following the crowd or he's either just with the crowd, you know, as one. And mainly he just keeps on digging a deeper ditch for himself when it comes to his education. He goes to the school and he threatens the teacher. Now, they also found drugs in his backpack. My son doesn't live in the state of Georgia. He lives in the state of Florida until we get family therapy going and, you know, we can get a smooth pace from there on that outcome, you know, chat it up when it comes to the family and the benefit of the child as well. It's therapy, family therapy is like healing the family through discussion and releasing toxins when it comes to discussing you know, what we've been through as a family and whole, and just improving our family. Therapy is court ordered. We've been waiting for therapy for 2 months. The judge is pretty overwhelmed with what's the delay. But the CFCE worker, the Children's Family Enrichment worker, she called and said that Valdosta State University will be doing the virtual family therapy. I was like, he doesn't have insurance here. He has it in Florida. She was like, I guess because you live there in Georgia, you guys could do virtual family therapy using that platform with Valdosta State University. So, yeah, that's what she said. And what else? She was like, I asked her, I say, "Do you know the number to the Pacific person in Valdosta State University, and when will this start?" And she told me that it'll start very soon, and she'll keep me posted with the number and who to reach out to. Sergio, no me toque la cosa. So, back to what I was saying. The Children's Family Enrichment worker said your son went to school threatening a teacher. They found drugs on him, and the school said that they can't help him because he's already failing his grade and he's barely in school. So they offered him an alternative school, and they suspended him for 10 days. And them suspending him for 10 days, she told me to check out Stellar, which is a life skills school. I don't know if it's accredited, but the high school mentioned it to the Children's Family Enrichment Center caseworker. And, you know, I looked up the school. They didn't have good ratings. They wasn't the best. And I told her, I say, maybe we should look to a different school. So for 10 days of him being suspended, he would be going to 500 role model for the time that he's suspended. But, you know, threatening a teacher and doing stuff like that, it's unacceptable. And they didn't arrest him for any of that. But they are taking steps when it comes to suspending him and, you know, having a meeting about if he was to be expelled from public school, if he would be going to an alternative school or not. I have not heard from the father. The only person that hears from the father, which is my children's father, is the children's. It is my 16-year-old. And, you know, without the court order, he's been a target when it comes to manipulation. And he hasn't been caring too much about the needs of my 16-year-old when it comes to him succeeding. He meets up with him as if it's a friend, and he basically breaks the law when it comes to being supervised by the state. And, you know, my 10-year-old has a phone. You know, he can always reach out to my 10-year-old. My 10-year-old barely speaks to him. I probably spoke to him. It's probably been 8 months, maybe longer. You know, all three of my boys come from one father. And I'm not going to be with them like I explained to the judge yesterday. There's no reason for co-parenting if there's no father here to indulge in the services that the state has to offer when it comes to co-parenting. So I explained to the judge that, you know, my son is 2 years old. And I have all three children from this guy. And, you know, it would be nice that this guy would reach out, you know, some summer vacations, some Christmas, you know, breaks and stuff like that to help out with the children, to at least give me a break. And I told her that's not the case. The 1-year-old will be going, Sergio, no me toque la cosa. No me toque la cosa. Sergio will be going on 2 years old in a couple of days, and he doesn't even know his dad. I never forced. I don't have any, how do they say, and it's a saying, I never put anything to anyone and told them, hey, be a father, or hey, don't be a father, or hey, no is no. First of all, it has to be supervised by the kid's paternal great-grandmother, which doesn't want to deal with neither parents, you know, and it also is an alternative to be supervised by the state. Father don't work out an agreement and, you know, start engaging in services. It's tough for me. It's not even tough for him because he just walks and, you know, have children everywhere. And here I am left with all the responsibilities as a mother, but it's like I have these children by myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm not going to allow allow anyone to manipulate my children against me in any kind of way. So that's a scary sight too. When you know you're just one person. But the thing is, can I say something? If you ever was to pull your energy away from a bunch of people, let's say, that are narcissist people, right? If you was to pull that energy away peacefully, just you, and let's say you pull your energy away from 100 people, but it's just you. That's just an example. And you quietly push your energy away, you should not even be mentioned as a problem. If those 100 people have a problem with you, never believe that you are the problem. Don't do it. And, you know, do your best to not do it. Because you're already peacefully, you know, went and healed. You already peacefully worked on your inner healing as well. You already peacefully walked away from negativity. Why does the negativity, or why does people feel so offended of your inner peace and you walking away from what no longer serve you? Understand that you are not the problem. I don't care if it's legally, physically, emotionally, whatever. If you're doing what you got to do, just keep doing what you got to do. Keep yourself focused. Don't allow any distractions. But again, you know, he's suspended. The foster parent also told me that Junior, you know, is sneaking girls in the house to have sex. And I even explained to him, when it comes to a girl, you don't know the parents, you don't know anybody. So I always like to at least speak to the parent, or, and not no or, I'd rather speak to the parent, and I'd rather at least supervise them together. Because, there's still kids, and, I just thought that it would be important for, the father and the mother to know, hey, I'm taking the kids out to the movies or something like that or whatnot. So he agreed. And he was like, at the end of the day, I told him, if you're going to have a friend, girl, as long as I'm home and I'm able to watch you guys, that's fine. He took it overboard and he wound up bringing girls in the house. Now, it was a reverse psychology because I later found out that the dad had a daughter, which is not my department. You having a daughter, you having a daughter. Congratulations, I'm proud. Because this is not a competition. This is not a game. Your life is your life. Their life is their life. My life is my life. Whatever you do is what you do. So my son told his cousin, hey, my dad is having a girl. Do not tell your brother. And I noticed that my ex-husband, which is the kid's father, he sent a recording and he was like, hey, don't tell your mom that I'm having a daughter, another baby, because that's not true. And I'm like, if it was or if it wasn't, it's not my department. I have 3 children by you or by him that I take care of by myself. You can have 15 and 24 children, whether you can take care of them or not. It's not my department. So his cousin, he was like, yeah, my cousin, my son, my 16-year-old was like, yeah, he told his aunt's daughter, he's like, my dad is having a daughter, and do not tell your brother, which is his other cousin. And so senior kid's father, he leaves a recording on Instagram because I have access to my son's Instagram. And he's like, yeah, don't tell your mom that I'm having a daughter on the way. Don't do that. Don't tell her my business, because at the end of the day, she'll hold it against me from not seeing the children. As if that's true. You see the manipulation I go through? When I'm like, low-key congratulating. I'm like, hey, it's Jemani. I'm telling my 10-year-old, I'm like, hey, I think you have a sister on the way. Congratulations. Maybe you'll be able to see her in the summers and stuff like that and have, family time and stuff. It's nothing wrong with having children. It's nothing wrong with, him even having children. I haven't been with him for 2 years. Why would I hold him against his children because he's living his life? That's weird. I also seen, my son told me, he say, when I said using reverse psychology, sorry about that. My son said, he went on Instagram and he's like, hey guys, I'm having twins. And I'm having a baby. And I noticed that he later on told his uncle in Instagram, no, Dad, that's a joke. But it's reverse psychology because I remember when me and Dad had a menage. 9 months later, this hood rat girl who we had a menage with wound up pregnant with twins. And they look identical to the children and to my ex-husband. So that's why basically we're not together. Because the whole time I've been manipulated with him and his family. Hey, say no hace eso. With him and his family. With him and his... ¿Qué yo te dijo? No vaya haciendo cosas. So, one second. He's a busybody, guys. So, what can I say? Sir, what's his name? So, senior, we had a menage in a hotel that he basically got from one of his scamming, booking.com hotel team members, gang members, whatever. And me and the girl had a menage with my ex-husband. He brought her to me. Ugh, Jesus, what an experience. Trash. But when I noticed, the whole time her dad was selling drugs for my ex-husband. So they've been in a relationship. But she was in a relationship with a guy on the next block that had a dope hole as well, that had a drug house as well. So it was a lot of, guys sleeping with each other's, him sleeping with a lot of other guys' women. So that was sparked a lot of beef as well with him in the inner street and the violence and the gang violence and whatnot. But she wound up pregnant, and when I wound up noticing the patterns, and I told his mother, she was like, "Are you kidding me? That makes so much sense." And then she looked at the picture and she say, "Elsa's not lying." Nah, Elsa's not lying. So there's this big thing of saying, hey, the guy on the next block was the baby father, not my ex-husband, but the guy on the next block said it wasn't his kids. He said he tried to, get a bond and stuff like that with the twins, and he didn't see it. He didn't see him in those children at all. But I know I have 3 children from the same guy, and I know the features. I have baby pictures of him. I have baby pictures of my children. And let's move on. That's his life. All I was always asking for was honesty, I took a lot of crap that I wasn't even supposed to be taking, but, honesty brings a lot of stress down, and a lot of confusions as well. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Because I know I shared another situation about a menage prior. Subscribe so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a lot of things or whatnot. I wound up getting new used furniture. That was in my budget. Let's move on. I also am taking up real estate courses right now. So I'm in school right now. When it comes to my retail business, I'm working on more inventory, and it's not bad. Only thing is, I don't want to make any moves that's gonna later on financially make a big impact on me and my financial stability. So again, I would start piece by piece with inventory and work my way up like I always do. You guys know that, if you know me personally. And if you know and you've been watching me for a while, you know that I try my best to keep myself busy and basically work my way up the ladder. My mom called me yesterday, and I'm sorry I got so low, but my mom called me yesterday and she's like, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? She texted. And how are you and the kids? And I'm like, I'm okay, Mom. Respectfully. I'm okay, Mommy. I just miss my mom. No, I say, I'm okay, Mom. I just miss my mommy and my father, my daddy, so much. And I said, I'm ready to come back home. I don't really like it here, But overall, I'm making the best of it. And the children are fine, Mom. Thank you. Oh, and I love you too, because she said she loves me. And I said, I love you too, Mom. She's been through way worse than me. Yeah, my life story is something else. But I really know for a fact. I'm not taking anything away from nobody, and I'm not adding anything. All I'm saying is, I know the reason why. My opinion is, I believe I know for a fact my mom's went through a lot. My mom has been raped, molested. She has been beaten, lied to, and stabbed in the back. So, you know, it's a healing process when it comes to me and my mom's bond. I love from a distance, but it's no place like home. I miss Miami. Georgia is dry as a cotton. It's dry as a cotton. Fashion, ocean. We have it all in Miami. I promise, fortunately. You know, yeah, I moved to a better environment, but the thing is, before I moved to a better environment, I was fine. I was also in my own little tomb, basically in my own home, and I've mastered self-healing, inner peace, and social distance. Surely I mastered staying basically grounded when it comes to my business in my home. Like, I stayed out of trouble. I didn't even deal with the same people or the same environments I used to run to a lot. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're in Miami, you're in New York, or you're in some place, you can find a space of your own and live your life to the fullest and stay to yourself. Avoid negativity. You know, if you feel like it's something legally that you can't handle, that's what you have 911 for. You understand? So at the end of the day, have an excuse, a better environment. There's people right now that live in Miami that can't even relate to half of what I've been through. Of course, they'll say, hey, yeah, the inner part of Valdosta is robbing, killing, setting people up, draining people for their energy, trying to tap into not Akashic records, but trying to tap into their their Wi-Fi and scam and playing with the police and crooked cops, and that's everywhere. That's everywhere. Excuse me. That's everywhere. There's crooked cops everywhere. There's crooked people everywhere. You know, no one here walks on water, split seas. You know, everybody don't follow the lights. You know, whether you're, crooked cop or not. You know, some crooked cops play with the lodge. They play with the mason, and they take it for a game. Like, they use it for evil, wicked deeds and stuff. Like, they basically also start a lot of inner community mess when it comes to, like, beef. They are the ones, and that's not our cops. That's not our cops. But they are the ones behind the scene on these profiles saying, hey, Third Ward, yeah, OTF, yeah, did this and that, and that. And, hey, that person and it, and da-da-da. The whole time you think it's, Bo Diggity, yo doubt baby. And all the while, it's a cop. And that's with anybody. You have children behind a Wi-Fi. I meant behind a computer. Oh, I just want to be down. Yeah. I'm such and such. Boy, go read a book. You know, I don't care. I'm over there. You know, just basically cyberbullying and cyber beef. You know. But yeah, my mom told me she loves me. I told her I love her too. So right now, guys, what I'm doing is I'm just scanning through some things. Looking for what I missed. I don't know if you guys remember, I told you about the guy I was dating too. Who I tell you we're not on the same time. I distance myself from him. He likes to pop up, you know, randomly, and I don't like that. I also mentioned my friend, you know, told me about his secrets or two and him being involved in stuff. I wouldn't even say my friend, my associate. He's basically supposed to be this Pacific voodoo priest or whatever. He basically called me the day after the video, and I said, "Did you look at the video?" It was, yeah. It's like, no, what is the video talking about? I'm like, hey, go see for yourself. Go see for yourself. This is basically talking about you and how I don't trust. So he went and I guess seen, and I haven't heard from him since. So yeah. I'm basically searching. But yeah, I had a dream. I want to talk about a dream. I had a dream about my grandmother. This was the day before I was arrested when it comes to that traffic ticket. I had a dream of my grandmother, and my grandmother was in my dream with the guy who I was talking to, who I told you we're not on the same time. You probably heard her knock and see me leave the video. But anyway, I didn't let him in that day anyway. But he was in my dream with my grandmother. And I noticed that it was involved him personally in real life, not in a dream. Even though the dream was lucid, it seemed, not in real life, he was on a high-speed chase in the car. Not even a high-speed chase, but he didn't have a license, so he was arrested for driving without a license. So that's before I met him. He had those legal issues going on. And I basically the next day wound up going through that scuffle with my son. And he was being really angry towards me, and I was just trying to keep him calm, and I wound up getting distracted and ran past the stop sign. So I had a real dream. My grandmother was in the dream, and so was the guy, and he was staring at me, and he was like, hey. And I was like, where's my grandmother here? I said, Mama, what's going on with my inheritance? What's going on? And she say, you'll find out one way or another. And she just had these weird glimpsy eyes. But her eyes, she's already Indian Cherokee, so she has like this halo over her pupils, and it helps her eyes change colors. So her eyes was more broad to me. I also remember I was laying down, I say around 1:44 a.m. in the morning. And I was looking at, I don't know if it was a YouTube astrology video or what it was, but out of nowhere, I smelled my grandmother's perfume. I smelled it out of nowhere. And that's the only person that smells like that. Oh, no, I was writing in this journal. I was writing in here. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I was writing in here. I was writing in year. This is a goddess dragon tarot on YouTube. This is her journal that she published and we buy. You should do the same. It's a very good journal. I'm almost out of pages. I'm gonna buy another one. But she also encourages you to write anyway. You know, a journal is a journal. But I just love hers. Yeah. But, again, I smelled Nana's perfume out of nowhere. I mean, there's no one in the room. So I was like, wow. And so, you know, the spirit comes by and check in, and you guys are going to continue to protect you no matter what. No matter what. So basically, I stay prayed up. Yeah, it says I had a dream that my son's leg broke. Also, my son keeps running away from the foster home. In the dream, my son was in a wheelchair. My cousin Joseph kept calling. I wonder what. Either way, I let the Lord lead us. I wind up finding out. I told him, I told my cousin Joseph, I say, hey, I need you to cut some grass for me in Florida. And he was like, he don't deal with grass. So the next following day, out of nowhere, he called me and he's like, hey, cousin, can you translate to this lady in Spanish? I came here to do her grass and she don't speak English. And I translated, and later on, I realized, he was like, because she was like, yeah, my daughter is in Cuba, and I'm Cuban. Yeah, my daughter is in Cuba, and my daughter paid through this website. The grass already got cut. And it was like, no. Tell her she's not supposed to pay me. She's supposed to pay the company. And me cutting the grass, that's fine. The grass got cut yesterday. I came to treat the grass. So when I later confronted my cousin, I'm like, hey, I thought you don't even deal with grass. It was like, I don't, Elsa. I deal with grass, but I deal with like treating the grass, like so it can grow healthy and stuff like that. Like getting rid of the bad in the grass. So it's like, oh, okay. That's the case, I guess. So I also had, this was when, I'll say about 6 months ago, when my son was here, my son was sleeping and he jumped up because he has bad dreams. Dreams about getting killed, dreams about his dad getting killed, dreams about stuff happening to us. So he has bad dreams. So he's one of the chosen babies of mine that I be 10 toes down about. Like, I stay praying over him, and I stay on top of him, and I stay making sure he knows to stay prayed up, because people can send a text in your dream. And also, you can get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from dreams. So it's not just all about, being attacked. Those are bad dreams. But it's also about seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding when it comes to a dream, because every dream has knowledge of and understanding. You just have to keep you a nice little dream journal and figure it out from there. But he was like, Mom, I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's like, Mom, I just had a dream. He's like, some dude went me down and he had on like all black and he had a knife or something. I'm like, He said, yeah, man, Mom. It was a weird dream. I tried to get up. I couldn't even get up. And I went through that here as well. But I went through that with his dad. His dad was in my dream, trying to see if me and him was going to get back together. And I told him no, so he pinned me down until he got the right answer. And I told him the cops are on their way in my dream. The dream seemed so real. I tried to fight myself up out of my sleep, out of my dream. I couldn't. He sat on my bed and everything. He pinned down to my mattress. And he wanted that answer. Was I going to accept him back or not? So very manipulative. He was manipulating my dreams. People knows. Where people knowing the hours you go to sleep too. So they feel like they got an upper hand on you. So as long as you protect and you stay grounded, and you're fine, you know. But not misleading nobody. You either take it or leave it. So yeah. My son told me, he said, yeah, Mom, the guy looked like Michael Myers. Guess who was on their way to my house? MW. My friend guy. The one who did that knock in the prior video. But nevertheless, I rubbed him down with olive oil and soothed him down to sleep after a prayer. But, you know, I did notice a post that he put saying that he's being harassed by the cops, MW. That's the only person I was dealing with out of the whole Valdosta. I was like my right hand. But if I have to question your loyalty, I don't need you around me. If that's the case, I'll just go back to my ex-husband, and that's not gonna happen. So yeah, I want it to be a point where we just be able to all do family therapy so we can heal the family as one in the wombs that the parents have created for the children, or in all. You know, we can grow, you know, as the parents. We don't have to be together. And as my children, you know, improving and getting better when it comes to school and stuff like that. One second, let me go grab Sergio. I'll be back. What's wrong, Bobby? What's wrong? What's wrong with you? ¿Qué pasó contigo? Mira la mano, tú estás sucio, sucio, sucio. I pray I hurry up and move, though. I want to move so bad. But, I'm just waiting. The landlord tried to, it was a month-to-month lease, but the landlord tried to give me I think he said it was never a month-to-month lease. It was a year lease. Well, anyway, I finished that year lease. And I told him I would like a month-to-month lease. He went up $50 on the rent. I guess because due to everything that's going on, everybody's starting to go up on rent and stuff like that. But anyway, I needed a form because I wanted to get my son started in virtual learning. And I needed some documents. And one of the documents was the lease. And he basically got, he gave me the lease, but it was a 6-month lease because I told him, I said, I don't want a year lease just in case something comes up and I'm able to move a little earlier, you know what I mean? But he gave me a 6-month lease. He said after 6 months, it will be a year lease, you know, and I don't want any issues with that. So I hope to be gone before then. There's a lot of things that I have to do when it comes to getting myself situated. Seyo, ¿qué pasó, papi? Ven acá, ven acá. 1 second. Come on. Venga conmigo. Ven acá, papi. Vamos, y caminando. Mira. Venga con la juguetita. ¿Cuál? Cualquiera. Esto. Here. Con la juguete. He wanted some cereal so he can bite on it. He can eat some, like, as a snack. Oh, what I meant to tell you, I'm having an issue with my refrigerator. Yesterday I had the guy come over so he can fix the children's tub because it was a leak. It was a bad leak under the mobile home. It's been a leak like that since I moved here. But the guy who referred, he was referred by the landlord who's starting to cut my grass now. And he cut my grass 2 days ago. He goes, hey, you need to have them fix that leakage under the house because that'll make snakes, rats, and roaches start coming into that house. So you need to have them fix that immediately. So you give him a call, but I'm going to give him a call right behind you. But that needs to be fixed. So I'm like, hey, thank you. Thanks. Because I did have some bugs. I actually had the guy come yesterday to start sterilizing the place. He was also referred by the landlord. So he came and sprayed and stuff like that. And the maintenance guy came yesterday and he was supposed to be back today to finish fixing on the tub. I haven't heard from him today. Also, the landlord, I mentioned to him, because I'll say about 2-3 weeks ago, I thought the refrigerator was broken because it kept acting up. It has its random moments. And I say, I told the landlord, I'm not the landlord, I told the maintenance guy, I say, hey, can you come over and take a look at the refrigerator? And he say, hey, something's wrong with the refrigerator, but at the same time, push all the food all the way back so you can make sure it's all the way closed. It's a real old refrigerator. I was like, yeah, because I'm like thinking if it was okay with him, if I'll be able to buy a new refrigerator. But when he left, the refrigerator went to working. Of course, I didn't have the money for a refrigerator, but I had it in mind. Hey, if I buy a refrigerator, if that'll be okay with him, I'll just put the old one in the backyard. And he was like, I'm sure, I don't think that'll be a problem. So now, yesterday when he came to fix the tub so I could stop the leaking, I noticed that my refrigerator and my ice tray, everything is just melted in my freezer, all the meat and everything. So I did a video group text with the landlord and the maintenance guy, and I'm like, I don't know what happened, but out of nowhere, the freezer isn't working. So I understand the landlord, owns other stuff, but he told me, he approached me today in the text message, in the group text, because I sent him like 3 videos of different, different scenarios when it comes to the freezer. Like I sent him the recording, a 30-second recording yesterday. I sent him a 30-second recording yesterday night, and I sent him a 30-second recording this morning. And I'm like, I don't know. So he was like, didn't you mention to the maintenance man that you would buy a freezer or refrigerator? And I say, yes, I did, but I don't have the money for that. I mean, I never spoke to the landlord about it. So I say, I don't have the money for that right now. So, if you want to send somebody over to fix it, or if you can't do neither, you can't fix it or bring a new refrigerator, that's fine, because I'm already trying to pay the maintenance man to fix the door, or have anybody, a handyman to fix the door. And I also had to pay someone you referred to, because it's on the lease agreement that pests and all that type of stuff, that is not the landlord's department, that's my department, and the landlord, I still haven't gotten a text back from him if he'll be fixing on the refrigerator or if he will be bringing in a new one. Because again, just because I mentioned it, that, hey, I wonder if I can buy a refrigerator, doesn't mean I have the money. Doesn't even mean that just because your things break, you can't replace it. That's not my refrigerator. So, and I'm a single mother. I do a lot on my own, I really don't have much help, Everything I have, I worked hard for, and it's not easy, but I get it done. Also, yes, that's the dream I had. I'll tell you about that one. 1 second, because we're getting ready to chop it up. Yeah, and remember I said chapter 2 when it comes to my cousin getting raped. I'm over that one. I just don't deal with the family that's here like that. I speak if I see them, but besides that, I really don't deal with people. I'm just working on more monologues. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I want to come back and tell you guys about my cousin and a download I had got when it comes to my cousin best friend who actually died in a coma. So subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.